One of the coolest new, I guess you could call it a feature, in Scarlet and Violet was the introduction of the 10 Sites of Paldea, or the Wonders of Kitakami, and this was just kind of a nice way to build the lore. We've been revisiting past regions, Kanto and Johto specifically so far, to try to give them their own wonders, because these regions didn't have that, but they're amazing regions, and they have really cool things to offer. So today, since we did Kanto and Johto, obviously you know what's next. We're doing the Hoenn region. We're looking at the 10 landmarks in Hoenn that we could call the Wonders of Hoenn. So first off, there is Mount Chimney. Mount Chimney is kind of like an obvious one. It's the first thing you would really like see in the, I guess, skyline of Hoenn. It's a volcano. It's a very large volcano, and yeah, that's pretty much it, but it is a big tourist attraction. They even have a cable car that'll get you up there. You know, right by there is Lava Ridge Town. You can, stay at the hot springs. So that whole area really could be a wonder. You can make Lava Ridge's hot springs a wonder, but ultimately I want to go with Mount Chimney just because it is this giant, impressive landmark. It is like the first thing you see when you see the Hoenn region coming in from the boat, Another really impressive mountain is Mount Pyre. Mount Pyre is a little bit east of Mount Chimney, and is much smaller, but nonetheless, it's very, very impressive. Mount Pyre is a place that has been kind of made into a cemetery, and it's a very gorgeous place. It's also got some sentimental thought behind it because, it is a cemetery for Pokemon, so it's where trainers can lay their Pokemon to rest and, can go and visit them, and just to make it not just a boring old cemetery, but this impressive mountain that they've built a cemetery on is very cool, and I don't know, it's just beautiful. I really, really like it. Mount Pyre would be on there for me. Now, usually when we've been doing these, we've been doing landmarks, right? Like with Kanto, we did like Mount Moon, and with Johto, we did things like the Burn Tower, but honestly, Hoenn especially, there's a lot of cities in the Pokemon world that are contenders to be their own wonder. First off, we have Fortree City in the Hoenn region. Fortree City is just super impressive. I mean, look at it. I think that's like one of the #1 places that if I were to ask, where would you live if you could live anywhere in the Pokemon world? I feel like a lot of people would say Fortree City. I know that's actually my wife's answer, fun fact. So, Fortree City are all these houses built in the trees, and so that is just really cool in of itself, especially since this city's been around for a while. So it's just impressive that it's kept this naturalistic look, and just really shows how, humans can be a part of nature, can build on nature without, being super industrial and polluting the environment and all that stuff. Fortree City is really, really pretty. That whole, rainforesty area of Hoenn's beautiful, but Fortree City is impressive in of itself just because, there's houses in the trees, and that's the city, and I love that. Then another impressive city, and I think this is another obvious one, is Sootopolis City. Sootopolis City is a city that is built inside the crater of where a meteor hit Hoenn, and it's only accessible by diving, going underwater, and then coming up in Sootopolis City, which is insane. So you can only access it either via underwater, or you could by air as well. And that is insane to me. It's also very pretty. It's got this very Greek look to it. The fact that it was built within a crater is just so cool. It's, again, the thing that's so beautiful about the Hoenn region, I feel like, is people taking nature and building off of it without ruining it. You know what I mean? Like, normally you see things where people are destroying rainforests to build their cities, but no, you have Fortree building their city amongst the rainforest. You have here people going, hey, we can turn this crater into a city, and building the layers of the crater into different buildings and stuff. And I just think that's so beautiful about the Hoenn region, and really shows how in tune with nature this region is. Now, this isn't so much a city, honestly, despite its name, but Grande City, specifically the Grande City Falls. This is this huge waterfall that you have to use the move waterfall to get up if you want to go through the Victory Road and participate in the Hoenn League, against the Elite Four members and the champion. Now, Again, Grande City's kind of a stretch term. There's really only a Pokemon Center here, but these falls are massive. They're very impressive, and they're out there in the middle of this ocean with, just coming off of this island, and that is so cool. Guys, you have to think, what would this look like in real life? It absolutely would be a wonder of not only Hoenn, but potentially even of the Pokemon world in general. So absolutely has to be on this list. Another amazing water feature in the Hoenn region are the Hoenn Rapids, and these are on routes 132, 133, and 134, if I'm not mistaken. And what this is it's a part of Hoenn. It's the water route where you have to navigate the route by accessing these rapids. You're not going to be able to fight against them, so you just have to go across it. And I feel like rapids in the middle of the ocean, that's incredible. That's literally, like, I wonder how that is possible. It is a wonder. I will also honorably mention, because this route's on the way to it, Pacific Log Town, a town built on top of Corsola. That is really, really cool, and it was very close to making my list, but I did, feel like, okay, I've already got 2 cities. I should probably lean off it a little bit, but if you have Pacific Log on your list, I definitely don't blame you. One island we see in the Hoenn region that is absolutely beautiful and should be a wonder is actually not the Mirage Island, but Southern Island. Southern Island is where you will find Latios and Latios. It is a gorgeous island. I mean, guys, just look at this. Just look at this. Do I need to go further? It's so mysterious. It's mystical. It's beautiful. I love it. It's a wonder. Just look at it. It's a wonder. Then we have over on another island, on Dewford Island specifically, you have inside the Granite Cave mural. And what's so impressive about this is it depicts an event that happened a long time ago, and yet it's been so well preserved. These cave paintings have been really well preserved and are also very clear on what it's showing. It's just so cool. I absolutely love this painting. It was one of those scenes that, like, especially because back then we were on the 3DS, so we don't get a lot of impressive scenes in Pokemon, but I remember walking in, panning and showing it, and I was just like, oh, this is sick. Look at that. There's Primal Groudon and stuff like that. Mega Rayquaza's up there. I love that. It absolutely has to be on the list. Now, moving a little east of Dewford Island, we have the abandoned ship, or as it's kind of been more popularly known as, once they changed the name in Oris, the Sea Mauville. The Sea Mauville is a ship that, was planned to, like, be able to move people onto this ship, but it wrecked, and there's a whole thing with it now. Spiritomb is on that ship now. It's got a rough history, but it is a beautiful environment, and it's cool to kind of see how nature has taken over this. There's a lot of, like, real world places that are just like this too, a ship that's been overtaken by, like, a coral reef or something, and that's exactly what's happened here with the Sea Mauville. Yeah, it is this tragedy, but it's something that nature kind of went, hey, don't worry, we'll take care of it. And you have trees growing on it, you have Pokemon living there now, that's their home, wild Pokemon. All of that is just super cool to me. They even kind of make a point to point that out in the anime when they eventually visit the abandoned ship. They make a point to be like, oh, wow, Pokemon have made this their home, and it's just cool. I really like that detail. And before we get to the last one, again, I just want to say, this has been the case with all these regions, and Hoenn's no different. There are a lot of good places in Hoenn that you could definitely add on here. Shoal Cave, Sky Pillar, the Moss Deep Space Center, all kinds of things. They, unfortunately, didn't quite make my list, but I'd love to hear what your lists are in the comments below. But my last spot would be Meteor Falls. Meteor Falls is first off, it's gorgeous waterfalls. Waterfalls are always like a easy thing to give a wonder status to, I feel like. But even aside from that, this whole area is very pretty with the meteor impacts all over it. And, there's wild Pokemon like Lunatone, Solrock, Bagon there. It's just a super neat place. It's a very mystical place. And it's like a piece of space here on Earth. And I think that's really, really cool. It's a better Mount Moon, if I'm honest. So yeah, Meteor Falls totally makes my list. So there you have it, guys, to fully recap what our wonders would be here in the home region. We would have Fortree City, Sootopolis City, Granite Caves Mural, the Sea Mauville, the Hoenn Rapids, or Route 132, 133, and 134, Grande City Falls, Mount Chimney, Mount Pyre, Southern Isle, and, of course, Meteor Falls. I'm a big fan of this list, but again, let me know yours in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so that I know you like these videos and I make more for Sinnoh, Unova, so on and so on. And until next time, I will see all of you later.